Phantasmal Flames pre-release events took place over the weekend, so you guys know what that means. We've seen a ton of Phantasmal Flames cards hit eBay and the secondary market, including that Mega Charizard SIR, and we've seen some sales, so we can kind of know what to expect before release. I'm going to break down all the prices and everything, what they've all been selling for. Let's just jump straight into it, and we have to start off, obviously, with the Mega Charizard X SIR number 125. As of this recording, these are the last solds on eBay. Some of them do vary quite a bit. You obviously have one as high as $2,000, $1,600, $1,500, $1,675, 19, pretty much 2,000, 1,800, 1,700, 1,600, 1,500, 1,400. So I'm thinking the value right now, based off of these, the average is kind of around 16 to 1,700. What we're seeing for at least the first copies hitting the market, and that's obviously fetching a pretty big price tag. I'm not surprised to see this number at all. Keep in mind though, there are a few things just to keep in mind. That this card is really not going to be actually that difficult to pull, unless they've drastically changed the pull rates between Mega Evolution and this set, which I don't think they have, but we won't know until we get more information. So that's not 100% confirmed, but I don't think that they will have really changed it to make it that hard to pull. Plus, on top of that, we're seeing a lot of these cards hit the market. And we saw in some cases, at some pre-release, somebody reported pulling 2 cards out of like 7 packs or something like that. So we'll see how plentiful they end up being. But definitely, obviously, the popularity and demand of this card is what is going to dictate the price, because everyone is going to want to get their hands on this card, including myself. I'm very excited to hopefully have a chance to pull this card. So that's currently what we've been seeing as far as raw near mint copies go on eBay. Here's the gold Charizard. Now, this is one where if you look at Mega Evolution, the gold cards obviously were fetching a higher price, more difficult to pull. But in this case, it's the SIR that has been actually, being more expensive. Last solds on the gold Mega Charizard, 1,200, 1,300, 1,140, 1,140, 1,200. One as low as 900 here as the low, and a 900 down here. So this is definitely one that will probably continue to drop after release, just probably like the SIR. But just keep in mind, this is pre-release, so prices will be a little bit inflated. Supply and demand. Obviously, demand is going to be very high for all these cards, and the supply is low right now. We still don't get the official release for a few weeks, so at least you guys can have an idea of kind of where we're sitting. And also, as an update for a point of reference, the Japanese version of this card has started to come down finally. You can see back here in late September, it was at 665, and it climbed all the way up to, not too terribly though, up to 717. This was late October. Now coming into November, the card has started to drop a little bit. Current market price of $699, and lowest listings are all in the 680s. So this card definitely coming down with more English copies hitting the market. That's not really surprising either. I do think though that this Japanese card will hold up pretty well, because I think a lot of people will be priced out of the English card, and then they will want to still get the art, so they will go to the Japanese. So that will definitely play a factor moving forward. So I'm very intrigued to kind of see how that plays out once we get maybe a month, 2 months after Phantasmal Flames is actually released and things really kind of settle down a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see how much this card drops based off of what the English one is doing. Now, also, we have seen a ton of PSA 10 copies of the Japanese one hitting the market. Here's some of the more recent solds for an updated pricing. Last 2 sales, 1,100, 1,125 for the last 2. So you can get the Japanese in a PSA 10 for much cheaper than the raw English version. Once again, that's not a surprising thing. Japanese tends to grade very well, very easy. The print quality is really good. So that's not a shocker to me, but it is kind of funny just to think that you could get a PSA 10 of Japanese, right now for less, much less than the English raw copy. So that is kind of funny to see. And here's some more of the last solds, 1,280, some as high as 1,480. So, but it looks like it's settling down a little bit to around 1,100, 1,200 currently. Next up too, this is just the full art right here, but just to show you how crazy people go at or around pre-release. This card's selling for $125. Not that this is not a nice looking card, because I will say, since Mega Evolution came out in this whole block, they really did make the full arts look good. They really pop, they shine, and I like them. it doesn't feel horrible or feel bad to pull a full art. You look at it and you go, wow, especially if it's going to be a Charizard, obviously. But right now they're selling for over $120. A few of the last solds, 120, 120, 100, 110, and then one as low as 100. So those are the last solds on that card. This is definitely one that's probably going to come down. I don't think a full art can hold $120 of value. Keep in mind, this is also, too, this is a smaller set. It's a very small set. So all of the pull rates are going to be much easier across the board. So, but anyways, it is fun to see kind of how much people will pay to have like some of the first copies. So $120. I wouldn't have thought that would be that high. I would think maybe 100, 90, 80 to 100 ish. But anyways, this one will get hit hard. It'll come down in price, but that's currently what we're seeing from the full art. Before we go any further, I did want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Shiny. Shiny is a great app for your phone that you can track your entire collection, whether you like graded cards, raw, even sealed product. You're going to log all of that and you're going to have the most up-to-date and accurate pricing. And if you're like me, I'm a very visual person, so I like seeing all the charts and graphs that they have on Shiny. And it helps me know where my collection is worth. And it feels good. It feels good to have your collection going up in value. So that's why I use Shiny. I think it's the best app on the market. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have 4.9 out of 5 stars on the Apple App Store. So you can check out over 1,200 ratings. So a lot of people are liking Shiny. And there's a ton more reviews on the Google Play Store as well. So make sure you download Shiny. There will be a link in the description. It is completely free to use. There's a paid version that unlocks some additional features, so you can try it out for free if you like it. And if you want to get the paid version, that is there as well. So make sure you go ahead and check out Shiny. Next up, just a little update on booster box pricing. So booster boxes for this set have dropped. Now, we also have seen Mega Evolution booster boxes continuing to drop. They're like, I think in like the 250s now, so upper 250s. So those have been continuing to drop as well. Pre-release pricing for the Phantasmal Flames booster box right here, still over 300. It was at 344 back here in September, and it's just, you know, down almost 11%, just slowly climbing down. Keep in mind too that right now on TCG Player, not everybody can list. When it says pre-sale right here, only these stores, see how they have this little like little store icon. This is because they are a certified hobby shop, and I believe that means they're brick and mortar. So they're the only ones that can sell right now. So once the actual release date comes, we'll probably see definitely a dip in booster box prices. So I don't know how low it's going to go, but with Mega being at 260, 250s, I would expect that at least for a while, this set would definitely stay above. However, the only downside to this set is, like I mentioned earlier, it's rather small. Obviously, it has the Charizard going for it, and that's like the big pull, but overall, the set very small. Mega Evolution base is actually a much deeper set, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how this pans out. But right now at 306 currently, so I wouldn't be surprised if these dip into the 200s at release. I just don't know to what point that's going to happen. So, and it might not even be for very long. Release morning, we could see it dip to like 280 and then come back up. I don't know what's going to happen with this box, but I do know a lot of people are hyped for that Charizard. That is what I know. Also, ETBs, similarly, you're seeing them down a little bit more, though, down 25%. They were as high as 174 back here, and now they're selling for around 130. This is definitely one that's going to dip. The ETBs tend to not hold up quite as well at release. Now, compared to where we're seeing Mega Evolution right now, I think those are in the 80s. So this being $50 above seems like a bit of a stretch. So we'll have to see how this one pans out at release as well. But currently on TCG Player, people are paying $132. Like, these are selling. People are buying these, right? 132. Here's a bunch of sales all happening this morning. So yeah, I wouldn't be paying this price for a regular ETB. I would wait. You're definitely going to be able to get these more affordable on release day or within the release time, the release window, if you will. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't be paying these prices right now. So just keep that in mind. We've seen it happen for the last few sets. I've touched on it in videos in the past, showing how much they drop like at release day or within like the first few days. So definitely should see a drop on this. Booster bundles are at around $65, $64 right now. They've dropped obviously big as well. They were selling as high as $90. Now they're down to $64. 28% drop on the booster bundles. Similar thing with the bundles. These will drop at release. And also, I would bet based off of what they've been doing in the past for how much they've been printing. Bundles will probably be pretty abundant, as well as ETBs. Booster boxes would probably be the thing that they don't print a ton of, just based off their track record of them not really wanting to print a ton of booster boxes. They've been printing other ancillary products. So yeah, I wouldn't be paying 64 or 65 for a booster bundle right now. These will probably drop at release. Like I said, I don't know to what extent, but they should drop upon release. That's just what we've seen. Also, we do have some pricing on some of the other cards from the set. This is not just a Charizard set. There are some other really nice cards in the set, including, this is the Mega Sharpedo number 127 special illustration rare. I think this is going to be one of those really underrated cards from the set. I think it looks stunning, but I get why, even right now, this is like the high, the pre-release high. It's only selling for around $80, $100, $90. One as low as $60 right here, for an English copy. I totally get it, right? It is a nice looking SIR though. I do like it. I think it. I can't wait to see this one in person. I think this one will pop. But right now, out the gate, the set is kind of Charizard or bust. So this, I'll be interesting to see how far this one drops after release. Because if this drops to a much more affordable price, that's one I would definitely want to pick up, obviously for my collection, but I'm not going to pay $100 for that out the gate. We do have some nice IRs from the set. This is the Meowth number 106 illustration rare. So it's supposed to be that Japanese exclusive, but then obviously it's not. They, pulled a quick one on us. And now, look at where we're at now. $60. It's selling pretty high for an IR, but this is one that obviously has a lot of nostalgia. If you haven't seen the mention of these buildings in the background, it goes back to the original Game Boy games, Red and Blue. So I do think that that's really cool, and I think it's obviously a nice looking IR. Meowth getting a lot of love recently, obviously with Team Rocket IR, and now he's got another IR, but around 60. So we'll have to see where this one ends up as well. This one will probably drop. Don't picture it holding up quite in this range. Maybe it drops down, maybe in the 30s or 40s. I don't know. Once again, smaller set, so these pull rates are going to come a lot easier. There's not that many IRs or SIRs, so Meowth currently around $60. Here's one that I think is going to be one of the most underrated cards from the set, and I am happy to see this card being cheap. If this is the high point, bring it down, because I am excited to pick up a cheap Dugong. I think this card is beautiful. I think this is underrated for sure. Last sold's $25, $18, and $19. So yeah, I think this is going to be a horribly underrated card. And I want to see it drop. I can't wait to pick up some copies when this card gets a lot cheaper. So I'm kind of happy to see that. It's nice to see some of these cards going, these IRs. I love cheap IRs. I'm a sucker for them. So I think that this Dugong with the Aurora Borealis going is going to be a nice looking card. Next up, we have the Piplup, which has been a little higher than you'd think. Piplup hasn't gotten any love in a while, but you can see one of the last solds as high as 60, but all the other ones kind of closer to 40 or 50, 46, 50, and 50 down here. Another adorable looking IR. I do like this one as well. So, while it's not the deepest as far as IRs, they do have some good ones. I also like this Wigglytuff as well. Once again, coming out the gate at $20. If this is the high, I can't wait to see how low it goes, because I like this IR. I think this is a really fun one with all the Jigglypuff and them all singing. This is a fun, absolutely adorable card. Currently selling around 20 to 19. Also, throwback little call out to the Dark Wigglytuff from Team Rocket. Kind of a fun little card there. So that's what you can expect from some of the better IRs, I would say. And, like I said, that's most of what the set is, right? In my opinion, there's some other SIRs that I think, unfortunately, it's going to be, when it comes to SIRs, if you don't pull the Charizard, you may be a little bit disappointed. Like, that's kind of the downside. I do like the Mega Sharpedo, like I mentioned, but it's like, comparatively, it's Charizard or bust. So that's currently what we're seeing. And then also, just as a little bit of an update, as I mentioned earlier, here's some Mega Evolution pricing just to kind of put things in perspective. The gold Mega Lucario been selling for about $530. You got your gold Mega Gardevoir at $420. Mega Lucario SIR $264. Here's the booster boxes that I mentioned earlier. Look at how much these have dropped. Current market price $259 for an enhanced, and $252 for the non-enhanced booster box. So these have dropped massive to see these down into the $250 range. I mean, we're approaching Scarlet and Violet base level prices on these boxes. And I think Mega Evolution is a great set. I think it's deep, and I think it's one of the best base sets, possibly better than Scarlet and Violet with what it has to offer. So, I mean, but you know, booster box prices coming down. Mega Gardevoir SIR at 244, the Mega Venusaur SIR at 179. You got your Pokemon Center ETBs, the Lucario and Gardevoir at 226 and 217. And then after that, things really starting to slow down. Lily's Determination holding over 100 at 123, and Mega Latias at 147. Mega Kangaskhan, it's at $83, and Absol, the Batman card, Emo Batman at 96. And then here's the regular ETBs I mentioned earlier. Lucario at 82 and Gardevoir at 80. Definitely still above MSRP, but not too crazy, not too expensive as far as that goes. And also booster bundles right here down to around $46, $47. So like I said, I think the Phantasmal Flames bundles should draw, like, even if they out the gate are a little bit more expensive than this, I think they definitely will drop, obviously. $130 for that ETB is just too expensive. That price is not going to hold. So yeah, that is a little bit of my warning as far as, like, be careful with these pre-release prices, specifically on TCG Player. Just because, like, I tried to warn you guys, it's just something that happens, and we've seen it happen with every set. At least since beginning of the year, since Prismatic, right? We see crazy inflated prices, then release day comes and they drop pretty big. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. A little fun update, you know, obviously the Phantasmal hype is building. I'm getting very excited. Also, too, we are doing a giveaway for Phantasmal Flames. So make sure you check that out. There'll be a link popping up, I think, either here, or I'll just put a link in the description if you guys want to enter that giveaway. It's the biggest giveaway we've ever done on the channel, and it just comes from me actually hitting a few, you know, MSRP drops. So I'm not getting any of this at distro pricing. This is me paying MSRP for all of this product and me wanting to give back to you guys and to say thank you for supporting the channel. So that's all it is. I'm very excited. We're doing booster box, ETB, booster bundles, like tons of stuff. Make sure you check out the video. It'll tell you exactly how to enter, and we'll be doing the drawing for that a few days after the Phantasmal Flames official release. So I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to give away some Phantasmal stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never phase.